feel like a villain. Life is a dream, but the door's not ending. To order the guys of love I'm sending. She don't want me for real, she protect.
It's your boy Shawn, aka ShawnShawn YC, and we back with a brand new reaction video. Today's reaction video, we got the 7-foot-tall giant was too big for the NFL. For what I'm saying, before we get to it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell, and follow my Twitch. That's gonna be right here and in the description. Click the link in the description and follow the Twitch. You heard?
There's a man too big for the NFL. This is John Crump. He stands at 7 feet tall and is so big he can't stand up on his own, but has the strength of 3 NFL players. And that's just one of the 12 unbelievable players I gotta show you. Like this NFL quarterback who weighed even more at 560 pounds. This D1 football player who is completely blind. Or this 4-foot-tall running back who's so good he plays D1 football. And first, let's talk about the football player with half a body. This is Dave Stevens, and from the second he was born, his life was rough, because not only was he born without legs, but his mom put him up for adoption immediately. Now, he could have let all that get to his head, but instead, he wanted to do the impossible. So in high school, he made the wrestling, baseball, and football teams. And he'd run on his hands in baseball. In wrestling, opponents had trouble getting a hold of him, and in football, he'd latch onto his opponent's legs. In fact, he was so good at sports, he broke multiple state records. Even with all that, he still had doubters.
So like, if you see that nigga coming down field, full speed, you crack that and go, oh! Are you wrong for that? I ain't gonna lie, I see this nigga do it, see this nigga running down the field, 20, 10, hit him, boom! Ain't no touchdown, nigga. It's over.
There's no reality of you ever getting in. The odds are 30 trillion to 1 because guys with legs don't make it, and they have to be the best. Have to be the best in the world, which means you have to be 10 times best. And I just said, well, you can't take my dream away from me.
But by the 1980s,
to that nigga though. Word.
Dave became the only legless college athlete in the world when he played for Augsburg University football, baseball, and wrestling teams. But despite already proving everyone wrong,
you could legit kick that nigga if you wanted to. Like if you really, if we really being honest, you could really just kick the nigga. He ain't nothing to the crew. You know what I'm saying?
The NFL.
And salute to that nigga though. Word.
One day in 1990, Dave got the call. It was the Dallas Cowboys asking if he wanted to come down for a tryout.
As he sat waiting for his turn at the
what position he going to play?
Yesterday, Dave Stevens looked a lot like the others who were there, chasing their dream of the NFL.
It makes me feel lucky seeing him, but yeah, it inspires me a lot. Yeah, it gave me chills up my spine. I talked to some of the players that was trying out. They felt the same way.
Indeed, they did, evidenced by the spontaneous applause when Dave finished his first 40-yard dash.
He fake moving fast though. He's 40 looking like.
Because these are a lot of guys that have the same dreams as I do, and it kind of gave me chills up my spine. It just did. I kind of stopped, and it just was like, you know, that's a lot of respect.
Now, while he didn't make the NFL, he did get a job at ESPN as a reporter, covering some of the most historic sporting events.
Because they put him in the NFL, bro. That's fake foul, bro. Because what position is he really playing?
And this man's done more with no legs than I have with 2. But this next player's missing both of his eyes, and somehow made it onto a D1 college team. See, this is Jake Olsen, and when he was just 8 months old, he was diagnosed with a rare cancer that caused him to lose his right eye. And then when he was 12, he lost his left eye the same way. But even though he was completely blind, Jake was determined to play football.
We went through a number of drills, and I said, oh my gosh, there's no way this kid is ever gonna, learn how to snap.
Truthfully, I really sucked the first time. So the coaches kind of just put me aside, okay, this kid's gonna be on our team, but he'll be playing left bench.
So every day, Jake would practice long snapping, doing hundreds of reps over and over, trying to get the timing and precision down. And when his high school season rolled around, coaches couldn't believe it. Jake was the best long snapper on the team.
He kept practicing.
That's tough. Yeah.
And finally, I started seeing some progress and said, oh my goodness.
Now that's calm. That's a calm position. He ain't got to do too much.
I was snapping, and it was evident that I was the best.
And after an amazing season on varsity, Jake committed to USC, where in his first game, he did this.
So Jake Olsen, how about this for an inspirational moment?
He is out there snapping.
Yeah, Jake. Yeah. The blonde snapper. I'm jacking it. When was this though? How long ago was this?
I wish my man could have seen how perfect that was. Now, what if I told you that there's a football player who lost their leg in the middle of a game? In 2014, Cody Casey was playing for Georgetown, and during a game, he was blocking a defender when he suddenly got hit from the side by another player, immediately breaking his leg.
Oh.
My bone was pretty much bulging out my skin. It didn't break the skin, but it was bulging, and I realized that it broke my leg. It was really shocking, devastating at the time.
So he was rushed to the hospital, where doctors performed emergency surgery, and his leg was fine for a few weeks, but that didn't last long because Cody's leg became infected. So doctors had to perform 9 more surgeries, but unfortunately, they didn't work.
After the first surgery, I thought it was gonna be that.
He got his foot
going. Second, we realized after the first surgery that my bone didn't grow for about 6 months, so we had to have another surgery. And after that, I was trying to get walking again, get right back on track, and then it came to find out that I had an infection in my leg, so that was very devastating for me, and it was a little setback. So we had to get that all situated, cleaned out, and I had to have a couple more surgeries. And it got to the point where, my leg muscles pretty much died. And that's when the doctors gave me the decision.
Doctors gave Cody the most important decision of his life. Either keep his leg, but it would never work again, or have it amputated. And after days of thinking, Cody...
Wait. Take my leg and never play again, or get my shit amputated?
...of his life. Either keep his leg, but it would never work again.
Or keep his leg or it never work again, or cut that bitch off. I ain't gonna lie. Cut that bitch off, bro. I can't even use this shit. You might as well cut the bitch off, bro.
Have it amputated.
Cut that leg off, gang.
And after days of thinking, Cody decided that he'd rather have no leg than a dead leg. But it turned out, getting his leg removed actually saved his career, because he received a prosthetic that allowed him to run. After 9 months of practicing, Cody rejoined Georgetown as a part of the kick return team, where on his first play back, he shocked the world.
He returned kicks for us, and the guy was a speedster. He's got one leg, but that prosthetic leg, he can go with that too. So we had him back returning kicks.
I was back there freshman year, and, just to have the chance to do it again, it's a little different, but, just the fact that I'm back there, and it brought back a lot of memories.
And so for us as a team to see a guy out there who's been through what he's been through and nothing stopped him from being back on the field.
You getting locked up by one leg nigga. Come on, gang. Got to do better.
It was there's nothing but positives that come from it as a team, from a team standpoint.
Man, now that dude's a legend. But now we got to talk about Caden Cox, because he's a college football player with Down syndrome. See, Caden was born with a genetic disorder.
I don't know Caden.
That's developmental delays, but that didn't stop him from wanting to do it all. Go to college, play football, and maybe one day make it to the NFL. Early on, though, people told Caden that he could never do it. In fact, people told him he wouldn't even graduate from high school. So Caden took all that hate to heart and proved everyone wrong. From making it on his high school football team, getting accepted into the Hocking College Hawks, and in 2021, he made his university's football team. Caden had already accomplished more than some people do in their entire lives. But during a game at Sussex College, Caden made sports history, becoming the first player with Down syndrome to score in a real college football game.
Damn.
It was an extra point and an exclamation point. With the kick, Caden became the first known person with Down syndrome to play as well as score in a college football game.
He's just beaming. I did it, Mom. My baby did it. I mean, they said he couldn't even go to college, and look where he is.
Yeah.
We need to put that man in the Hall of Fame. But look, we gotta mention the shortest college player in football history.
Come on now.
Jason Carter, a 4'9", 130-pound running back who was so good he played for Rice University, a D1 school. As Jason figured out, was so good.
Oh,
he
he
played
like
for Rice
4 feet
University,
tall,
a
getting knocked
D1 school.
down.
All because Jason figured out that being short could actually be an advantage. See, in high school, he was so low to the
This nigga's a
ground,
toddler.
all he had to do was duck past defenders. And on defense, this man was a menace. He'd go straight for the ankles. And it worked, because by his senior year, he had scored 18 touchdowns and racked up 92 tackles. Those stats were so good, he was able to walk onto a D1 football team. And in 2013, he made history by becoming the shortest player to ever play in a college football game.
What a great story. UTEP taking on Rice. Fourth quarter, Owls up big. There he is.
Come on, Jason.
In his first career carry. The 135-pound, 4'9", Carter's the shortest player in FBS.
I guess size really doesn't matter, huh? Well, there are players you wouldn't believe
He looked almost like Tariq Hill.
Size doesn't matter, huh? Well, there are players you wouldn't believe exist in the NFL, like Derek Coleman, because this dude made it all the way to the league, even though he was deaf. See, in football, hearing is everything. You gotta hear what plays the quarterback is calling. You gotta communicate with your teammates on defense. Hell, if you can't hear footsteps, you might get blindsided. So Derek had to invent an entirely new way of playing football by spending hours perfecting lip reading, figuring out exactly what play was being called, not only through helmets, but through mouth guards. And this paid off big time, because Derek became one of the best players to come out of California, earning a full-ride scholarship to UCLA. And in 2012, Derek made history, signing with the Seattle Seahawks and becoming the first offensive deaf player in NFL history.
You were the first person in the entire history of the NFL to
tough.
play offense and be deaf.
You think how my football
Play offense and be deaf, bro?
The color of my hearing aid.
That's
and now
crazy.
I think everybody has a unique story, and that just happened to be mine.
Did you feel like you had a disability when you were growing up?
It wasn't really until I got to junior and high school when I started realizing that it's not really a disability, it's an advantage.
Advantage? How?
I can turn people on and off whenever I want.
Man, you might not be able to hear it, but I'm cheering for him. Now, we gotta talk about how a college player is dominating with one hand. Meet Alex Hurlburt, and he's been missing his left arm since birth, but that didn't stop anything for him, because Alex was able to train one arm to become ridiculously strong, which was enough for him to become one of the best linebackers in the state of Oregon, even winning the Conference Player of the Year. But the craziest part is, this man got a full-ride scholarship to play D1 football for the University of Montana.
This week he found out he'll play Division I football on a full-ride scholarship.
Yo, shout out to all of these players that, from saying that got something going on with them and they still doing what they gotta do. Word.
At the University of Montana.
Anything's possible. I mean,
You got my respect 100%. Word.
college football.
This isn't about his arm to me. This is about him being a great football player and a great human being. And that's the part I'm most proud about.
And after his football career came to an end, Alex made his disability look like a superpower when he became a one-armed power lifter. Man, this dude is deadlifting over 600 pounds with basically one arm. But down in Louisiana, there's a player that's going to change how football's played forever. Because we got to mention the college football player. That's a woman.
Oh, we got
I'm
a
talking
girl?
about Haley Van Voorst. And since
Haley
she was
Van
5,
Voorst.
all
Oh,
she's
nah,
ever
she's
wanted was to make it to the NFL. So she practiced
up.
every day until she was recruited by Shenandoah University. But not as a kicker, not as a punter, or even a long snapper. This 5'6", 145-pound girl is a safety. But even though she was on the team, they
probably hit him
sidelined her
with
for
a
3
stick.
years straight.
Boom!
And she used that time to sharpen up her game until
Jeez, that is
2023. Because during a game against Juanita College, she made sports history.
The 5'6" safety came into the game with Division III Shenandoah up 26 points against Juniata College, registering a quarterback hurry on the way to a Shenandoah win.
Haley's
Did that quarterback know what or who hit him?
I've had some people come up to after the game until I take my helmet off. They're like, dude, I didn't know you were even a girl.
Man, I wouldn't want to be tackled by her. But one college football player made it to the NFL while battling cancer. See, James Conner had it all. A starting spot in the Pittsburgh Panthers and a bright future ahead in the NFL. Then, one day, his dreams became a nightmare because James had a crazy headache and night sweats. So he went straight to the doctor, where he received the worst news of his life. A tumor was surrounding his heart. Doctors told him he'd only have 1 week to live unless he got an emergency surgery. So James didn't waste a second. He got the surgery underway and went through chemotherapy. Now, patients that go through chemotherapy are usually exhausted and have trouble doing any physical activity. But not James, because the day after each chemo treatment, he went and worked out with the Pittsburgh football team, doing sprints, lifting weights, and doing agility. For James, not playing football wasn't an option, but in 2016, he witnessed a miracle. After 12 chemo treatments, he was 100% cancer-free.
Jeez.
Yes, sir. Yeah. May 23rd was the day I got that call telling me I made a complete recovery. 1,000 pounds lifted off. You know, feel like I could jump a 60-inch vertical.
Yeah.
So, with the cancer out of his body, James immediately went to work.
James
and after the season ended, he declared for the NFL draft, where, with the 105th pick, he was selected by his hometown team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
In the 2017 NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select James.
How do you feel to be a Pittsburgh Steeler?
Man, unbelievable feeling, man. Right back at Heinz Field, ready to get number 7.
Did you see this happening a year ago, 2 years ago?
You know, I knew I was going to be in the NFL one day. This, everything I've been through, a little bump in the road. But I'm thankful for it all.
You have to say the Steelers Nation.
Steelers Nation, let's go. I'm ready to work. I'm about to win the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Man, football is easy compared to what he went through. But there are a lot more unbelievable athletes coming up. Like the 7-foot monster, too big for the NFL. The 560-pound NFL quarterback. Or this NFL kicker without a foot. And we'll get to all that and much more. But first, we gotta thank our sponsor, FanDuel, the best app to place your Super Bowl 58 bets. But we gotta talk about the NFL kicker without a foot. This is Tom Dempsey, a football player born without most of his fingers on his right hand and missing all of his toes on his right foot.
Damn.
So playing any sport seemed impossible. But
This nigga's a broken puzzle, bro.
what Tom had was incredible strength. So in high school,
Ain't got
after
no feet, no hands. God damn.
coach told the team that they needed a new kicker, Dempsey raised his hand, and everyone looked at him like he was insane. So he took the cleat off his bad foot and booted the ball past the end zone. Dempsey realized his foot was a literal brick, and from that moment on, he was destined to be a kicker. So after months of kicking, San Diego Chargers head coach Sid Gilman happened to stop by their campus and saw Dempsey kicking. He knew immediately that they needed to have him on the team. So in 1968, Tom Dempsey signed with the Chargers, and they hooked him up with a new shoe that featured a flattened toe area and functioned like a sledgehammer. In his first season, he was killing it, hitting field goal after field goal. And on November 8, 1970, Dempsey's team was down 2 with just a few seconds left, and they needed a field goal to win it all. Only problem was, they were 63 yards out, which if he made it, would be the farthest successful field goal anyone had ever kicked. So, he lined up, and this happened.
You're winning the game.
I don't believe this.
Oh, he made it? That was tough.
From that day on, the play became forever known as the kick, and Dempsey became an NFL legend. But look, we gotta talk about the 7-foot-tall, 440-pound monster that was too big for the NFL. Meet John Cron, a.k.a. Junior. See, at only 11 years old, Junior was 6 foot tall and had a size 16 shoe. This giant looked like a fully grown man. So with genetics that crazy, Junior immediately started playing football. And by the time he reached high school in 2012, he became a monster, because he had grown to 7 feet and weighed 440 pounds, which officially made Junior the largest person to ever play football. So at 16, there wasn't a single person that could guard Junior.
God damn, that's bullying.
He came down with his hand, like falling over, and hit me in the face mask, and I was like, felt like I got hit by a truck.
And with talent like this, Junior made it a goal to get to the NFL, but almost immediately after, something
When that nigga fall, he be into like 7 people to pick that nigga up.
terrible happened. His biggest supporter, his mother, had passed away in her sleep. Junior's life had turned upside down, and the only way he knew how to deal with the tragedy was to get back on the field and play some football. And he was able to do that for a few more months. But when it came time to apply for colleges, they weren't interested. They thought Junior was slow. They thought his footwork was terrible, and he was so big. There was a genuine concern that he might fall on a teammate and break them, which had already happened multiple times in high school. So he was left with no choice but to attend community college in Riverside, with hopes that he could lose some weight and one day attend a D1 school. And after 2 years of working his ass off, that D1 school came calling, the Portland State Vikings. So Junior dropped everything, moved to Portland, and joined the team as an offensive lineman. But even though he continued to work hard off the field, even losing 45 pounds wasn't enough to help him on the field, because Junior was impossible to play. He had the slowest 40-yard dash on the team, and running backs ran around him like he was a 7-foot-tall practice coach, which is exactly why Junior never got a second of play time. So at this point, it seemed like Junior's dreams of going pro were officially dead. But during the final weeks of his senior year, Junior got the offer of a lifetime.
What he got?
The WWE, asking if he'd join him as a wrestler. So, while Junior never made it to the NFL, he's currently training and on his way to becoming a WWE GOAT. Now, I gotta mention, though, he's not the only one who was too big for the NFL, because there's an NFL quarterback that got so big, he reached 560 pounds, which ruined his career and even his life. See,
God damn. That nigga sit on his ass and eat every single day. Like, every day he just sit on his ass and lay on his back and eat. 500 and what pounds, nigga?
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch
senior year of high school. Jared Lorenzo
that nigga dying got to bury him on his fucking stomach. He be laying on his back too long.
Football player in all of Kentucky, throwing 45 touchdowns in the season and leading his team to a state championship. But there was one giant problem. Jared was bigger than most of his linemen, weighing 240 pounds. And people wondered, how could a quarterback possibly be that big? Well, it turns out, Jared had an addiction. The man couldn't stop eating. And even though he was getting recruited to play D1 football for Kentucky, he just kept eating until he ballooned up to 308 pounds. But every day, he showed arm strength that was off the charts. Because Jared would end practice by getting on one knee at center field and throwing the ball over 60 yards until he hit the goalpost. His coaches knew that he was special, but they told him the only way he'd be able to play quarterback
is if you stop
eating.
He
dropped 40 pounds. So Jared went to work, waking up at 5 a.m. every morning to play racquetball for 2 hours, keeping up with his normal football workouts, swimming every single night, and also took Ripped Fuel, a weight loss pill that was banned by the FDA. But it all ended up paying off because of the last weigh-in. The scale read 268.8. Jared was officially the new starting quarterback. Finishing his college career first all-time in SEC passing attempts. And even getting nicknames with teammates like the Hefty Lefty, J-Lo, and the Pillsbury Throw Boy.
What are you being called?
The Pillsbury what?
The Hefty Lefty, J-Lo, and the Pillsbury Throw Boy.
What are you being
Pillsbury Throw Boy.
Hefty Lefty, which still I love. Pillsbury Throw Boy, round out a touchdown, mobile, agile, hostile, and hungry.
Now, in 2004, despite not getting drafted, New York Giants wanted a piece of the man. So they signed him as a free agent. He backed up Eli Manning for 3 seasons and even won a Super Bowl ring. But his struggles with food continued to haunt him. Only this time, there was no coming back. Because Giants coach Tom Coughlin put a weight limit of 292 pounds on him, saying that Jared would pay $450 per day for every pound he went over.
Every time I was overweight, which happened, most it happened, it was $450 per pound per day. What's the most you have ever been over? They capped it at 1,200, so I paid that once. 450, that's 3 pounds. Yeah. My weight, I had to be between 288 and 292.
And your fat ass is at 900.
Yeah. It's just so funny to me that they didn't try to put like an athletic weight on you. They just wanted to restrict you to save you.
Getting 300.
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's when he realized he had a serious problem. Because his food addiction was so bad, he did everything he could to lose weight, besides change his diet. Skipping every meal before weighing, spitting in a bottle all day to get rid of water weight, and even going fully clothed into a sauna, trying to sweat everything out. All just to barely make weight. But the moment he made weight, he went right back to the junk food. Eventually, though, he just couldn't lose the weight anymore. And no NFL team wanted him. Food had literally killed his NFL career. By age 33, Jared was done playing football, and he didn't know what to do with himself.
But
So to cope with the depression, he did the only thing he knew how to do: eat.
A fucking eat contest.
He went to the doctor and was told that he was not only killing himself, but he also needed to go on blood thinners.
Yeah,
because
slow
he'd
your
grown to
ass
an
down. Your ass is just eating to eat. Like, nigga, you being greedy at this point, nigga. Come on, bro.
insane 4XT, a size 54 waist, and an unbelievable 560 pounds. Jared went from Super Bowl winner to morbidly obese. But eventually, Jared's addiction got the best of him. And sadly, on July 3rd, 2019, at just 38 years old, Jared passed away.
Visitation was set to begin at 2 o'clock today here in Edgewood, Kentucky, but the line started forming at 12:45. Clearly, the legacy that Jared Lorenzen is leaving behind is quite significant. Jared, we're told,
and rest in peace to Jared, man.
saddened by his death.
All he loved to do was eat.
Celebration of life.
Rest in peace to
And
that
what a
man.
life he packed in just 38 years.
When you're dealing with an individual as unique as him, I mean, you very rarely can find a guy who was that talented and cared that much for people.
You know, he was always in a good mood. He was always had a smile on his face. He was always positive.
And always
I saw the
heads on the football.
Pillsbury throw
First,
boy.
you just see the bodies, and you're like, well, which one's the quarterback? But then to see him actually in the film, it's like, you know, you could definitely tell he was
Shout out to that good fucking
special
dude.
player.
Who is probably best summed up by an uncle, Terry Conley.
It'll be a long time before you find another one like him.
Didn't even have to know Jared at all to feel that way about him.
Yo. Rest in peace to Jared, man. Word. Damn, if you like that video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to them boys that was doing what they had to do without arms, legs, and eyes, and ears, and all that. You feel what I'm saying? But if you like that video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that post notification bell and follow the Twitch.
Yeah, I feel like a villain. Life is a dream, but the door's not ending. So all of the guys of love I'm sending, she don't want me for real. She